Ooh, child, this man was unalived after he did not accept a bribe of $12,000 from the men's that molested his daughter. Corey Warren had a little 15-year-old. She was a little fast because she was outside somewhere walking around and she seen this man, LeVar Harmon, whom she met while getting off the bus, and they exchanged phone numbers. That same day, he came and he picked her up and took her shopping, spent a little bread on her. Then he took her back to his house. He didn't get her in the front hole. He got her in the back hole. That's what the document says. I don't know if she told her daddy or if her daddy found the messages or however, but her daddy found out. He went to the police and made a report like my daughter was by this grown-ass man, LeVar Harmon. Then the sister, LaVonda Harmon, she drove her ass all the way from motherfucking Texas, all the way to this man's house to ask him, had the nerve to ask him if he will accept $12,000 in hush-hush money, not to complete this shit and go up there to tell the police nothing so this man can get off on these little charges. Told them folks, hell no. Then now on July 8th, while he was in his home, this little white boy, Andrew Claus, rolled past and pum-pumed him through the glass door, hit him. Mind you, one of the children was still inside. The father succumbed to his injuries that day. Now, the little white boy, he was a hitman because he done did this shit time and time again. If you go down and look at his page, I'm going to tag it. You will see what type of lifestyle he led. I can't post all the, because, you know, I don't want to get messed up. So hitman met up, after he did the do, he met up with LeVar, LeVar's uncle, and the uncle's son, which is Anthony L. Young and Anthony D. Young. And they shot his ass in the head, left him somewhere and then burnt his car up, lit his car on fire. And they just found a car abandoned somewhere and then found him somewhere in the woods with a hole in it. He goddamn head. Now, they done all been locked up. The sister was locked up, too. The sister, LeVar's sister, got locked up, and she had a $100,000 cash bond. I don't know where the hell she got that money from, but she paid the whole $100,000 bond. That boy got some money. He got like a $3, $4, $5 million, $6 million bond. He ain't going nowhere. Because if they come up with that goddamn much money, then y'all better be beware and beware and be scared to hide the kids, hide your wife. Because shit. The condolences go out to the family. My deepest condolences, because I know this is a trying time for them. Especially the daughter, because she's like, damn, this is all my fault. But my condolences. Keep your daughters safe. Children, stop being so damn fast. It's hell.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because they've been everybody out here.
New tonight, a man says two women kidnapped him at gunpoint and forced him into sex work.
Court records backing up the victim's story, and he's sharing it only on 13. ABC 13's Luke Jones is live at the Harris County Jail detailing those 6 days of terror, Luke.
Yeah, and what a terror it was. So far, the only charges are aggravated kidnapping, but this man says in reality, he was really the victim of sex trafficking. Masterminded, he says, by a woman who called herself Cookie, operating out of a North Harris County motel.
Like, it was really ghetto. It was scary.
A young man who still shudders when he thinks about all he endured. For almost a week, he says he was held captive in a room at the Regency Inn on Cypress Station near FM 1960. Forced, he says, to have sex for money. We're blurring his face to protect his privacy.
It was a lot of crackheads, like a lot of them, like a lot of sketchy homeless people.
A life, he says, he never imagined for himself. One the Harris County Sheriff's Office says he was sucked into October 18th. That's when they say one of the victim's friends, Esmeralda Pena, invited him to the Regency.
She said that she had a job for me, like she was going to help me make some money because I didn't have a job.
Once here, he says he was introduced to this woman, Herbanique Forrest, although when they met, he says she went by a different name.
Her name was Cookie.
Cookie, he says, quickly set about signing him up for an escort site and told him he'd have to have sex with men for money. The next day, he says he saw an opportunity to escape and returned home. But just 4 hours later, deputies say a doorbell camera shows Pena and Forrest at the victim's front door, this time with an armed man. Investigators say they and Nixon Simmons forced him into a car at gunpoint.
Cookie started beating me, and she was like, don't I ever leave again. Like, if I ever leave, like, she'll blow my brains out.
For the next 6 days, he says he was beaten, plied with drugs, and deprived of food. At night, he says he was expected to solicit men in this Ross parking lot, although he says he only ever slept with one.
I knew that if I made them money, they would keep making me work for them. They would keep me around. So I just tried not to sleep with anybody.
Even so, he says the experience left him drained, and at one point, hoping Forrest would make good on an earlier threat.
Like a couple of days in, I kind of wanted her to kill me. Like I told her to kill me, like just get it over with.
In the end, he says it was his aunt who saved him. October 24th, he says he was able to text her using a phone he'd hidden from his captors, and that she picked him up during one of those nights out in the Ross parking lot.
I was just like, yeah, this is not a good place to be at.
And the victim says he wasn't the only one forced to do this. One of the suspects, Esmeralda Pena, also beaten and made to walk the streets, he says. Right now, this case still under active investigation. Live downtown, Luke Jones, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
Yeah, I got all three of y'all on the line, Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Okay, great. Listen, we ready. Yeah, we ready to go ahead and start all over. Yep, and just do a hard reset. Pull a plug out, though. Let's make sure we get all the foolishness out. And let's just try again. We had a good run, though. We had a good run, but I think it's time.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and this is news of the weird. First story, some dude, 21, was forced by some woman named Cookie, who looked like Snooki, to be an SA worker. Now, one, there's several problematic things wrong with this fucking story, because I've been 21. Ain't nobody make me do shit. It's a grown ass man. But this is the trend of the new age man. I guess they can't fight. They don't know how to put their fucking hands up. They softer than Charmin. I don't know. Shit's weird. Which is possibly the same thing with the second guy, but we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that later. Yeah, the fact that he was 21 and they was forcing him to get his cheeks clapped for bread. I don't know. They say strong men make good times make weak men make hard times make strong men. I don't know where we're at. I'm assuming because these are weak men, these are good times, but clearly they're not good times. So this must be the making of hard men making good times. And this nigga is the hamburger meat getting grinded through the goddamn hard times, because ain't no way a negative is somebody forcing me to be a sex worker, get my cheeks clapped. And I'm trying to figure out how the fuck is that even possible with all these goddamn cell phones. Now I know they say he was able to contact his auntie with a cell phone, but with all these goddamn cell phones, and like you couldn't, the fact that people are still getting abducted is beyond me. We have all these goddamn cell phones and access to law enforcement, other family members, friends, yada yada yada. There should be no nigga. I seen in the comments that some woman was like, that's the stuff that be happening to us, to which I had to reply, that's what makes it fucking funny, because it shouldn't happen to a man. However, like I said, this must be the weak times or the hard times, because there's a bunch of weak men out here getting kidnapped and forced into bondage. Ain't no way in hell. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out.
No one's ready to deal with us.
Oh shit, before I go, I also forgot to mention that second story. Another weak man in hard times. This man, 15-year-old daughter, was abducted by some dude that was tricking off on her, right? She hot in the ass. There's still no excuse, but she wandered off the reservation, and they did unscrupulous things to her after buying her clothes and expensive gifts. I don't even know how the fuck the man. I don't even know how the fuck the man's sister got involved in this story. They tried to offer this nigga 12 G's. He said no. For all the people that's out there talking about black people don't snitch, that wasn't necessarily snitching, but we do contact the authorities. However, when we do, this is typically the ending. He contacted the authorities. He didn't have any protection. Law enforcement didn't give a fuck about him. They was just trying to prosecute the criminal. not realizing, because I think they do realize this, that criminals have networks of people on the outside. So even if they get locked up, they can make a call to somebody to go over there and whack you or your family member. And it's what it seems like they did. He was bribed with $12,000, which he didn't take. And the person doing the bribing was a sister, which is weird, but he didn't take the money, so they ultimately whacked him. I don't know if the case got dropped because of that. I don't know if the law enforcement connected two and two together and put together that that nigga was involved. He's trying to kill the witness. But yeah, you gotta watch your kids, whether they 21 or they 15. Like, shit is getting weird out here. You know what I'm saying? In the words of Anton Dodson,
hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because they've been everybody out here.
in any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out.
No